life in the balance, rise through the challenge. It seems to be that we should just leave it alone. Just let it grow, let it leave, and let it burn. The tree has leaves for a reason, because they're called leaves because we should leave them alone, and I should let just the thing be how it is. This is where tolerance comes into place. This is where we start to realize that I am on my own journey, although I would like to be there for others, but seems like I cannot. I can only go in and find out what I am, and maybe this might be for you, but maybe it's just not. So the balancing act seems to be the most difficult thing in human experience, because I know that I am just a mirror to my own consciousness. I just keep seeing myself in everything and in others. But because I have this type of outlook, I can see the extremes because I have been onto my own extremes. And I can tell you, it is joyful, it is painful. This is what life is. It's a sine wave. It's the expression of every emotion and feeling. And it's also sometimes very tough to realize that there is no thing than myself. Because if I realize that I look out of my own window into my soul, into my light, or into my darkness, or into the full color spectrum, I realize that it's myself. I realize that it's myself who's mirroring itself in the others. The hall of mirrors, the halls of Amenti, the halls of Amun, Ra, the chematic outlook, the pharaoh outlook. Now, once I've been there, I realize then that it is, considering the 33 vertebrae in my spine, which get into the CC, the Christ consciousness, and then we level that up to the 42, which gets into the pharaoh outlook on life. So the body becomes all eyes. I realize that I look into my own school, into my own skull, into my own consciousness, into my own patterns of escapism or patterns of acting. I realize then that it is how I treat myself. Because if I realize that I am the others, I am the mirrors of the others in front of me, I realize then, how do I treat myself? Although we are all on our own journey to self, to wherever we think we might go, although we never really go anywhere. I never go anywhere. It seems like I'm doing something, but on this matrix grid, I realized that only the positions and my mind state changes. Now, if I realize that, then I consciously make the decision, make the splitting up again, because I realize I am everything, in order to plug myself consciously in. Because if I'm always onto that God creator mode, which I always am, but everything becomes very cold, very detached. And I start to become very rude in the way I treat myself and others. Basically, I treat myself and others the same way. And this is because I start to see that I look out of my own black pupil, black soul, black light, black sun, which is reflected in front of me. And that's why I named this video Life in the Balance, Rise Through the Challenge. because I know it's an illusion of separation in this grid here. We're all the same, looking out from different perspectives and experiences. But once I realize that, it's becoming very like I said, detached. So I stay humble with my own opinion. I carry virtue and goodness in my heart and in myself. I capture the Ouroboros in my heart again. Once I let it out, I capture it in my heart. It is one of the most powerful things. And maybe if you would like to look at that, you look into the movie which is called Yin and Yang Master Dreams of Eternity, I think it's called. Second movie from Yin and Yang Master, which is coming out in 2021. And this is basically what I'm talking about here. This master talk, which is then happening in this movie, is basically what is happening right here, right now. And it's happening every time. It's happening, time means emitting process, or means that I send the time out. I send out my own imagination. And because I realized that, it's just a quest of, okay, I consciously walk around in my own school, which is my skull, which is what I have learned. I only can go to the experiences again where I have already been. And if I've been not there, how could I ever go there? It's impossible. So, because I have been into myself, I can tell you what I tell you. Although, I know it's coming out of myself. Everything is coming out of me. And that's why I say I carry tolerance in my heart. I carry compassion in my heart. I carry truthfulness in my heart. And this is what I keep mirroring out. And through this, I eliminate all things. Because I tolerate life. I tolerate the black, the darkest things. I tolerate the lightest, whitish things. And I see the full color spectrum in between that. And only, but only when you've been to that place, to that outlook, now it seems you're actually free. But as long as we are here in this 3D grid, I would say you only run from yourself. That's what you basically do. That's what I do. I run from myself. I can never go anywhere. I cannot run from myself. If I look down onto myself, what is changing? From this perception here, what is ever changing? The mirrors change. That means the perception of my eyes, my body status, and my mind state. This is only what changes. So you could throw everything into me because I know these things and they don't basically have much effects. Sure, they do something with my body, but as long as we humans have these bodies, we are captured in and encapsulated in this 3D grid where we have this delusion of self, where I think I am in this ego mind state, which I have to be in order to move on. But this is the whole tricky system. This is the whole matrix. This is my tricks. This matrix, my tricks. I pull only my tricks on myself. So this is what magic is, what imagination is. I am the magic nation of myself. This is why I dress up, I dress up for success of myself. I don't dress up in order to show off. I dress up in order to tie me into this grid again, because I know it's pointless. It is very pointless to argue about anything, because I tolerate life. And if I tolerate life, I end everything that society thinks is good or bad. Whatever it is, whatever. I was saying that already. I say it one more time. If you do something, consider the complete opposite of what you would normally do, and then do that. Food and nutrition is a very good example of it. But it is working for everything which we can imagine, which we could ever hold on to in our mind states. And because my mirror is already broken, I can fix it and I can see through it. Because I know it's myself. And that's very beautiful once I realize that it's only about my integration and how do I work with the things that I am presented with. That's the balance of yin and yang. The yin and yang master. The master. The master means that I have a mast, which is equal to my spine or my penis. And this means Kundalini, snake or burst. Snake eating its own tail, which gets into Shivamukhopai, yin therapy. The ever-spinning wheel gets into writing my own story, writing my own novel. But at least I know in the end, this is repetitively patterns in my brain which I bobble around here right now because I have already said these things. And that's why I continuously spell them. But it's probably how I say, because I have been so empty and I have been philosophizing about these things and meditating on these things for a long period of time. Does it mean that it has to be like that for you? No, because belief systems are created out of myself. It's a lie anyways. It's a believe. I believe in something. So I believe in a certain system which I created out of my own pupil, which is black. This is the essence. This gets into alchemy, this gets into the Taos, the Daos, the different grades in martial arts. So the quest is, where do you go? But I realize I never go anywhere because I look down on my body and I see, like I said, only my mind state and the mirrors and my imaginational process changes. And sure, we get into different other personas, other masks on this dance of life. Everybody's wearing masks on this ball of dances. On this feasting. That's good, you know, like fasting and feasting, it's a balancing. So this is why, like I said, I integrate everything that I know in this mirror, in this, what it is. I'll dress up for my videos right now because, well, I mean, maybe in the future I'll do it differently, you know? And this is what life is. Because I'm real, I'm original. That's it. I know these things, I practice them, and I find my balance with it. Because I can tell you, once you've been to the highest top of yourself and you've been falling so deep into yourself, it is what it is. It is what it is. And that's good. I'm good where I am. I can never argue around, be like, oh no, we do it this way, oh no, we do it that way. And then you reach certainly somehow, somewhere, you reach something and then you realize, oh, it was already yourself. And this is why I call it, it's an illusion. It's a Maya. looked out from different personas, out of different masks, from different eyes, from different spines, from different eyes. See, that's what it is. So I live in compassion, I live in, how is it called? Demut. Ich lebe in Demut auf Deutsch. Ich lebe in Demut, ich lebe in Toleranz. I tolerate all the sight, decisions, visions. And this gets into the eyes again. And society is what it is. I can, like, I think I could change society? I mean, yeah, I do it. I know. I am very powerful with what I do. I am very powerful with what I do. I know that. But is it my intention to change up the whole realm? It only takes one being to change the whole grid. So I live how I live, and through this, I might inspire somebody. But I know that I talk to myself. I always talk to myself, no matter if I'm in here or if I'm out here moving. I always am anchored in my own navel, which is my novel, which is my story. So this is why history is joyful, interesting. You can learn from history, but it is encoded in the word already. It's called his story. It's his story. That's what somebody else tells you. Is that important to you? Yes, maybe it is. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just what somebody else told you. So this is why you, but especially I, should care about my story, which is mastery, which is my mast, which is my spine, which is building up virtue, building up goodness, building up rituals, building up routines. And then including and integrating these things in everyday life. And this is what I'm going to show you right here, right now. So I dress up, as you can probably see, fresh out of the box, and giving you what I am. And because I can give you what I am, I can give it to myself. And that's what it's all about. Sharing is caring. I tolerate death, which is yang. I tolerate life, which is yin. Tolerance in all directions. And then you start to realize that it's the whole spectrum. And only through becoming the whole spectrum, you can experience life in its fullest potential, in your fullest potential. Of course, I have fear. I'm very anxious about some things. I don't want to do some things. I do not. Because I've never tried them. And I think that my solutions might be the best for everybody else. But this is the whole mistake. But then we could also argue around that I know things because I've been wrong so many times. But then you see it's only about developing my own perception and outlook. Because life is all is mind. It's all mind. It's all a mirror. It's all a delusion. Illusion. It's all illustrated, comic book, booking, king, queens, male, female, yin yang, the outlook, the in-look, whatever. It goes through something. So here we go. We integrate things in this whole. So I'm going to read just, I don't know, maybe one page out of the Schanverlung out loud. Oh yeah, let's read about. Like I already said that. It's about Demut. I tolerate all decisions. This substance does not vanish after one loses it. It is transferred to another person. Yet this essence of chi can disappear. If one is very willy from childhood to adulthood with a strong desire for self-interest and solely seeks profit, this person's celestial eye will, after opening, normally not work or see things clearly. This does not mean, however, that it will never be functional from that point on. Why? Because in the course of cultivation, we try to return to our original true selves, and through persistent practice, we will be able to constantly compensate for it and recover it. Therefore, one must pay attention to Xing Xing. We stress holistic improvement and holistic upgrade. If Xing Xing is improved, everything else will follow up. If Xing Xing is not improved, that bit of essence of chi will not be recovered either. This is the principle. So, let's meditate one more day, one more time, cultivate one more day, one more time. Dress up, integrate it. Good, so here we go into from going from Dafa into Ida. Building up a bit of fire, releasing hormones. And we can get into different forms of self-realization and mobilization and healing, helling, belling. So we can get into voodoo flossing. We do it today only for the hands. You can do it also for the feet, or for the elbows, for the knees. And this is about the process. It is about the flow. This is what keeps you going in life, because this is what I am. The moving of the mind. It never stops, because it cannot stop. It stop. Stop means as top, which gets into the symbol of the snake and the top. Stop. You think you stop? Your mind is never stopping anyways. In this illusion of self. So keep going and accept and tolerate the darkest and the lightest things. Because I am source. And we can, as you see, a bit of mobilization is taking place over here. Oops. Here we go. For the feet. The legs, the glutes, insides, outsides, every sides, all sides. And a lot of things are actually for the mind, for the routine of the mind, for the pushing around and pulling around, the different poses, the different positions that your body moves in and on and through. Different vibes, the different emitting processes, which are all coming from and through myself. So we've done that. You can now, like I said, it's more about the process and the routine and the motivation aspect of it. To continuously stay on that why, which is the way, which always gives you a lot of different perceptions and outlooks. But in the end, like you said, I realize I'll never go anywhere. It's all myself. It's all my own outlook, my perception on life. And it's only important to stay true to myself and to stay true to what I do. I am this bedrock of and on and in this ocean of consciousness. No matter what I do, what I eat, I push through. I pull through, I go through, and I sit through. I sit it out, you know. It seems like you don't know how fast I sit. You get it? Sounds very bizarre, huh? But your body's moving anyways. There are so many things happening inside and outside. Keep yourself structured and then lose it all in chaos. And then realize that it is about developing how you see. And as you can probably see through my YouTubes, I was doing that. Is it necessary? No, or maybe yes. It's my way. Okay. And now we get into the blindfolding pharaoh. Fresh dressed up. change a bit of position, but that's happening. And now we get into the back bending. Alright. Let's go. Okay. A few leg swings and one kinetic yoga session, and then it's going to be it for today. The reason why I'm certainly doing not the animal postures of Kalaripayat for me is that I feel like these animal spirits are then in me, and certainly I am every animal, but I'm beyond that. So I include them and I integrate them in my mind, but I'm focusing more on the cultivation and the movement and the flow and staying grounded, you know. Feels like they shoot me up very high, and I have to stay sometimes humble with me. So here we go. Now we do a bit of deadlifts today and some hip thrusts. Okay. And like I said, these things are only for the mind, for the neurochemical release in my brain. Because everything is mind, it's called move mind for a reason. Movement, move mind. Perfect form. And lifting up like this. We can do some hip thrusts also with these weights to keep balance, you know. Keep the balance, keep it blind to to realize and we do some ring work and push-ups, pull-ups. Okay. And of course we do it blindfold. Integration, that means we do it for having force and power in everyday life, you know? Not to empty out myself, but to teach and to lead and to be and to move and to flow. Balance in every aspect. That's what life should and is for me. So some kinetic yoga, of course, is blind. Good. So, that's it. This is the journey to self-healing and the journey to and of myself. So I know that I keep talking to myself. I all know already that I mirror myself in this illusion, and I wear these eye masks for a reason, because this is how I become much more aware of my perception and perspective and my senses, my sentences, my words, my worlds, my hearings, my earrings, my gnosis, my eyes, my mouth, and my speaking. In these humble words, I love you. I love me. I stay humble with it. And I wish you all the best. I wish you truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance. And that you develop your own outlook in this realm. These humble words. One more time, thank you. And see you.